Hello YouTubers and welcome to another video. Today I have a very interesting product for you, and that's the Qudelix 5K. It's a Bluetooth dongle DAC and I think it's a really amazing piece of kit. How did I get my hands on this? Basically I was getting bored of my AirPods Pro 2 at the gym, really not enjoying the sound quality for those extended sessions. So I thought I could use my IEMs at the gym by having a Bluetooth dongle like this. So I got to the gym, tried it out. It was a good idea, but in the end it really didn't work, mostly because I was missing the ANC feature. And that, together with the fact that the Bluetooth sound isn't that great, I think it was too much of a compromise. So I ended up getting some other different Bluetooth earbuds, and that really didn't. The original idea of using this with the IEMs at the gym really didn't float. So that's how I ended up with this. But before I speak a little bit more about the sound and what I like and what I don't like about this product, let's speak about quality and feel. So it's a really tiny device. I think that's the first thing that strikes you. Look, this is the cord module. Next to it is quite a fair bit bigger, as you can see. So in terms of size and portability, I think this is really great. My favorite feature, I think, is this clip here. It's made of metal, this clip, so it's nice and sturdy. I think the body is all plastic, but this clip allows you to put this on your belt, and then you have your headphone wire coming out into your ears, and then your phone is free, basically. So I think that's really a really cool feature to have this clip. And it's built-in part of the body of the Qudelix. At the bottom here you got the USB port for connection to your laptop or computer or phone, and then at the top here you got like a 2.5mm balanced and a 3.5mm balanced. I would have preferred that it was a 4.4mm balanced output, but I think at the time when the Qudelix came out, that was the standard kind of a size, and I think slowly we're shifting to the 4.4. So I'm hoping that the next generation's got a 4.4 on there, because most of my cables are 4.4 and not 2.5. You have a couple of buttons here to control things like volume and tracks and so on and so forth. I think there is a microphone built in here, so you can do phone calls as well. Although I haven't used that feature a lot. So I think in terms of quality and feel, this feels a really nice product. Also comes in a fully recycled, or recyclable and recycled packaging. It's always nice to see, to help the environment and help those corporate people make even more money. No, shouldn't have said that. It comes with two quite nice cables, so USB-C to USB-C and USB-A to USB-C. If you have a newer phone, all you need to connect this to your phone is this cable here. Unfortunately, I have an older iPhone, so I have to use this one together with a camera adapter, and the whole thing becomes a little bit bothersome. So maybe it's about time I get a newer phone, or maybe even an Android phone. So I think in terms of the packaging and how the product is delivered, I think it's really good. I really like the size of it, and that clip really impressed me for the quality. In terms of sound, the sound is pretty good, and there's two sides of it. There's the Bluetooth sound, and then there's the wired sound, and they are quite different. So basically the wired sound is a lot better than the Bluetooth sound. And I tested, most of my testing was done in wired mode with my PC or with my phone, and I tested it mostly against the Mojo 2 here. So the Bluetooth sound, compared to, if you have a good pair of Bluetooth earphones, I think you're better off with those than using a Qudelix together with some IEMs. In my experience, it's the trade-off for like maybe some extra quality and sound isn't going to offset like the wires and the lack of ANC and so on and so forth. So it's still solid in Bluetooth mode, but it's not a wired connection by any means. Then you get really good Bluetooth earbuds now with all sorts of sound management that sound really, really good. A good example of that is the Technics AZ80. It sounds really amazing. So then, if the Bluetooth is not something you're going to be using, then you got the wired. And in the wired, when you wire this, the sound is actually really, really good. Really punchy and strong, and especially from the balanced output. I think the 3.5mm unbalanced output isn't nowhere near as good as the 2.5. The 2.5 is the balanced output is quite remarkable actually. My first impression when I connected this to my PC, and then I was listening to the Sennheiser HD660 S2s, I was really blown away, especially because I used one of the equalizer presets specifically for that headphone, and all of a sudden I was getting a lot of really good sound from the headphones, because the Qudelix comes with this app, and this app is half the value of the Qudelix. And inside this app you can control things like pre-gain, you can control things like the voltage outputs, you can control like sleep modes, you can control all sorts of sound parameters, you can basically it's a very comprehensive app, and visually works really well. And it's a solid app, and I think that's half the value of the Qudelix here. But and a feature that I really liked is when you get to the equalizer part of the app, there's a bunch of like presets already on there. So if your headphones are good headphones, you're probably going to have someone who's added a preset on there, and that preset adjusts for what they see was wrong with that headphone. And with the 660 S2, that really worked a lot. It was really good, and I was really happy with it. Not so much with the IE600s and some others that I've tried in there, but the sound is really good coming out of this device for what it is. Does it compare with a Cord Mojo 2? No, I think the Cord Mojo 2 is a much more hi-fi component than the Qudelix, and so it should be. But the Cord Mojo is much bigger, it doesn't have Bluetooth, etc., etc., doesn't have an associated app, so it's not as portable, etc., etc., you know. So the soundstage on the Qudelix is quite narrow, and the sound is a little bit two-dimensional. The resolution is actually pretty good, and there's a lot of detail coming out, but the imaging, so the soundstage is quite narrow and it's quite 2D, so yeah, you don't get a sense of being involved in the music as much as you do with the Mojo. But that's not to say that the sound is bad. I think it's really good, and I think, you know, if you're not used to some high gear with the maybe I'm spoiled, but if you're not used to sort of like higher gear, you're going to be really, really, really impressed with the sound on here. It's punchy and dynamic, and by the time you adjust everything for your particular set of headphones, you can really be enjoying good quality sound out of this dongle here, especially in wired mode. So I think it's a really good device. So if you're out in the market looking for something like this, I think the Qudelix is a no-brainer. I think this thing has been around for quite a long time, and that's always a good indication. If a product stays out for a long time and it keeps selling, that's usually an indication that's intrinsically good. And I think that's what's happening here with the Qudelix 5K, because you get a lot of newer kind of a Bluetooth dongles, but this one still sells and it keeps selling. So I think this is a really, really good product in this kind of a product range. But I don't really use it, you know, like, so I don't have a case use for me. So if I'm out and about, I'm using some Bluetooth earbuds. If I'm at the desk or at the office, I got the Cord Mojo. So I don't really have a use case for this. The only use case that I have for this is in my car. Because my car's got an auxiliary input, and if I use the Qudelix to feed the signal onto the auxiliary, because I can adjust the pre-gain and do all sorts of adjustments with this, I can get my car system, which is bog standard, kind of a car system, I can make it sound really good. So my use case is really that odd long journey that I could be bothered to wire all this up. So that's for me. That's my use case for the Qudelix. But your mileage will vary. But if you are in the market looking for a Bluetooth dongle DAC with the feature of using it wired, and by the way, when it's in wired mode, the battery just lasts kind of forever. You can't go wrong with the Qudelix 5K. So it's a totally recommended product for me. So. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And thank you to my subscribers, 350 odd and counting. I much appreciate your support. Thank you so much. And I see you around.